Brightline Defense is an environmental justice nonprofit. We do a mix of programmatic and policy work. Our programs are in air quality monitoring, job training, youth leadership. We really believe ultimately in empowering communities through those programs, so they're often done in collaboration with other nonprofit organizations.
Brightline has a really big impact that you can see in real time, and it's very influential and very positive to be here. Brightline Defense provides a lot of environmental justice education and outreach to local San Francisco residents. Most of our work is based and focused in Soma and the Tenderloin, and it focuses on SRO residents and tenant leaders. Eddie has been amazing to work with. He's a very selfless and generous person, and I can really see the impact of his deep knowledge about the history in the community and just kind of his generosity with people he speaks with and people who he works with.
I lived in San Francisco my whole life, 64 years, look. I have asthma, I have an inhaler and stuff. I'm a cancer survivor twice, and all the stuff that they bring to us, knowing that we have, that they're worrying about our air quality here in the Tenderloin, one of the poorest neighborhoods in San Francisco, that they care about us to come down and put the monitors up around our neighborhood and let us know what the air quality is from day to day. It means that somebody is caring. They care about our air.
The large inspiration for a lot of my work is my grandfather, who himself came up in a very tough time. Through the tragedy of the Korean War, most of his family had died, and part of his struggles in business later on in life, and the stories that were told to me about him, that oral history really informed what I do now. My parents immigrated to the United States, and they went to the University of Texas in Austin, and that's where I was born. Grew up there for a few years, and then my parents moved north, and then they ended up doing small businesses there, liquor stores. My parents operated liquor stores for about 20 plus years, and then I would work there up until college. I went to Brown University. I studied political science, and afterwards I really did some soul searching about what I wanted to do with my life. But I actually started off as a nonprofit service worker, so I was in AmeriCorps, and I worked in Oakland's Chinatown as an after-school programmer. I taught art, public speaking workshops. My parents were disappointed at the time. They immediately asked me how much money I made, and of course it was not a lot. I then decided to go to Hastings for law school. So I enrolled in UC Hastings College of the Law. Still taught actually as an after-school programmer for the first 2 years of law school, but carried on as if I was going to become, a well-paid lawyer. I think that was the theory back then. And then I fell into this work at Brightline, working through a Hastings-funded grant. For our job training program alone, we serve about 300 to 400 transitional age youth per year. Our air quality monitoring program is really done in collaboration with a much larger community organizing base. So through that alone, we're working with typically 10 youth leaders representing 10 different high school students, who then goes on to reach 500 households and businesses a year. Dr. Espanola Jackson was a longtime community leader out of Bayview Hunters Point that has really inspired me personally and our organization's work as well. So Dr. Espanola Jackson was very much the ferocious community voice who really held it down for decades in Bayview Hunters Point, made sure that environmental injustices were addressed, whether it ranged from the Potrero Hill power plant and its operation in the southeast sector of San Francisco, making sure that power plant was shut down, was due to her efforts. Brightline continues to try to carry on that work in the way that Dr. Jackson would have wanted. Dr. Jackson always had a great saying, which was, hoping to inspire people to pick up the sword and carry on the struggle when she wouldn't be around. And I hope we can honor that legacy by continuing to do what we are doing today. The hope is, whether Brightline is around or not, that we actually leave something behind that can sustain itself.